So n8n just dropped a brand new update and they're releasing their own prompt automation generator. So what this means is you can put any prompt into n8n of any automation you'd like to build and it will build the whole thing out for you. I'll be showing you guys how to set this up and get it running on your instance because it's rolling out in phases right now, but I'll show you a way to get around that and get access to it right now as long as you're on the cloud version because it's not on self-hosted right now. They are planning on releasing it on self-hosted too, but for the time being it's only on the cloud version. I do think this new feature will be pretty helpful. They had it on make.com for a long time already where you put a prompt in and it will build the automation for you. And back before n8n, when I was using Make, it was pretty helpful just to get a start on automations. Or for example, let's say when I was doing Upwork and I would read through job descriptions, copy and paste it into here, and then I would just have a skeleton automation of what they want, and I could show that to them and kind of explain how I already know what I'm doing, but it would really just be the platform building the whole automation out for me. So before we go ahead and test it out, I'm going to show you how you guys can get it set up on your account right now. So first things first, just make sure you're on the latest version of n8n. You're going to want to be on 1.16 or later. Just go to the latest beta and then save changes. So after you're back on your workflow, if you still don't see it like I didn't, there's another workaround you can do. So if you're on Chrome, go over here, go to Inspect, go to the console, and you could go ahead and clear this and then just paste in this code right here. I'll have it in a description and then you'll just enter it in here, refresh your page, and then it should pop up with the new build with AI feature. Doing it this way is the only way I found that it worked for me. So now I can just go over here. It'll say add first step or build with AI. You can just click on build with AI and then put your prompt right here. I actually wanted to test this out with a real person's automation request. So I went over here on n8n and found a post right here. And I'll just copy and paste this part. So they need email parsing, an intelligent response generation, proposal generation, approval workflow, manual send control, inquiry tracking. So I'm just going to copy and paste this in here. I haven't tested this feature at all on n8n yet. And another thing is with the pro version, which I have, you're going to get 150 credits per month. So it's only going to allow you to build 150 workflows per month. I'm pretty sure you can buy more, but we'll see what this does right now. Okay, it's been about 30 seconds so far. It went through searching nodes, getting node details, adding nodes, and then connecting nodes. It's still thinking right now, but this is already looking pretty good here. So we'll just let it go for a little bit longer and see where it goes. Okay, cool. It's done now. It took about 2 minutes in total for this whole thing to run. So I'm just going to read through this right here. And it actually looks like it's telling us how to set up. Of course, we didn't actually have the API key and all the credentials from this. We just had general instructions. So it's telling us we need to put in the API key and all the other information that we didn't have in the instructions. Also down here, it looks like we have more steps that we need to complete before we can execute it. So let me just see if I can click on one of these. Well, okay, so I'll go right to the node and then we could modify it. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm going to compare it to what we put in now and see what it did and see how well it did. Okay, so the first step we told the automation to do was to monitor and parse incoming catering inquiries from Outlook email. So over here, it does look like it added an Outlook email node. It also named it, which I like a lot. It says monitor catering inquiries, so that's cool. We'll go into the node now. It added our credentials, set it to every 5 minutes and on message received. So that looks good right there. And then it looks like it added a set node right here for workflow configuration. And I'm pretty sure, yeah, this is just all the information that we need to set that we didn't put in the instructions, like the API key, the URL, the email address, and the company name. So if we put those in the instructions in the prompt to build the automation, it would fill it out for us. But since we didn't put those in, they just added the set node there. So the second step we put in was to analyze inquiry content and automatically generate relevant follow-up questions for any missing information. So event date, guest count, setup requirements, schedule, budget, menu preferences, etc. So they added this AI agent node right here for the second step, and I can go ahead and read what it says right here. You are a catering inquiry assistant. Analyze the incoming email and extract all available information about the catering request. identify any missing critical information needed for a complete proposal, event date, guest count, event type, venue, location, setup requirements, event schedule, timing, budget range, dietary restrictions, menu preferences, service style, and any special request. Return the extracted information and list any of the missing fields that need follow-up. Okay, so that does match this description pretty good. Analyze required content, automatically generate relevant follow-up questions for any missing information. Return extracted information and list any missing fields that need follow-up. Okay, and the third step was the proposal generation. So integrate with Proposal Path API to automatically generate and link professional proposals. So it added this set node right here to prepare the proposal data. So proposal date, proposal description, customer info, and event details. And then it will send it to the HTTP request, which is sending it to the API proposal path right here. And okay, so it's linked from this workflow configuration node from earlier. So if we put in the API base URL key here, then it would get sent to here. So this is just the API key and stuff. So you would just actually be able to delete this and then delete this too and actually put in the URL and authentication and that stuff manually if you want. So this is just sending it over to the API key, and then we have all the information right here with the title, event details, setup, everything like that. Okay, and for the fourth step, it says approval workflow, route completed proposals to sales manager for review, approval, and send. It doesn't specify exactly how they want this to happen in here, so it was a little unclear of what we sent to the n8n automation builder, but what it decided to do was just to add a wait node right here and wait for the approval on a form submitted. So it'll create a form and it will wait until it's approved. After it's approved, it'll check approval status. If true, if it's approved, it'll send the proposal, which right here it says manual send control enables sales manager to manually send approved. Okay, so this is a little bit off, because they would approve it here and then it would automatically get sent. It wouldn't be manually sent. So this does look a little bit off right here, because this is still automatic, not manual. And then for the last one, inquiry tracking, log all inquiries and their status in Excel, Google Sheets for tracking and reporting. So use Google Sheets. If it's approved, it goes up here. If it's rejected, it goes down here. And then also at the front, we just have the log inquiry to tracking sheet. So it's looking pretty good so far. I honestly like this. This is a good start for automation. For example, if a customer sent you a description of what they needed, it would usually be a lot more detailed than this. And just with this simple little description, it built out a full skeleton workflow. Of course, not everything is perfect in here. I think the AI agent needs a little bit more work. Also, you would just have to put all the credentials in. Again, with this one right here, it's automatically getting sent after they approve it. It looks like he wants to manually be able to send it after it's approved. So that would need a little bit change, but you would just need to talk to them and see exactly what they mean by that and how they'd want to do it. But so far, it's actually looking really good. So we're going to do one more test with this, except we're going to be using my own prompt this time. I tried to make the prompt a little bit longer, but there's actually a 1,000-character limit on this tool right here, which I didn't actually know. And I'm actually just using ChatGPT to create the prompt for me. So we're having it build a workflow that reads a CSV from Google Drive. Has the path right here. Columns are domain and company. And in step 2, for each row, enrich with Apify. For 3, write results to a Google Sheet tab named Tech Audit. And then it has the columns with timestamp, company, domain, and all this other stuff. Append one row per input domain. For step 4, it says dedupe by domain before writing. Skip if domain already exists in Tech Audit. For 5, we have errors. If enrichment fails, still log the row with tech fields empty and an errors note. And for number 6, it has a trigger right here, so it's a manual. Run now only, no schedules. Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and run this and see how it does. Okay, looks like it finished executing now. Again, it has all the steps right here that we need to complete before executing the workflow. Has how to set up, so Google Sheets document ID, and Appify actor ID. I'm not sure why it put this code node up here for the handle enrichment error. I guess it was building this and then it decided it didn't need it or something, but we'll look at that in a second. So it started with a manual trigger node like we told it to, which is good. It has the workflow configuration node again, where we're just gonna put in the sheet name and the CSV path. So you can manually put that in depending on what your actual CSV path is and your sheet name. And then it's gonna read the CSV from Google Drive. So by ID right here. And again, this is just coming from the workflow configuration node that they put in. So I would just put the path right here, and then that would input into here. If I wanted to, I would most likely just delete this node and then actually put in the path here manually. So it's going to download the CSV from Google Drive, extract the CSV data, and then it's going to use a code node to split into rows. Again, this automation is fully building out this code itself, which is pretty cool. And then it's going to check if the domain exists using a read Google Sheets node right here. Again, this is coming from the workflow configuration tab. And then this one right here, we would just, put in the document ID ourselves. Okay. And then does the domain already exist? True. It will go up. False. Then we'll enrich with Appify. Again, using all the information that we gave it in the prompt. Another code node, parse text stack data. Again, all of this written in the automation. It only took about a minute or two to do all this. And then it will append the sheet with write to tech audit sheet. So coming from the workflow configuration tab again, but you can just put the actual sheet right here. Okay, so the thing is, we don't have a sheet with all these columns, like the timestamp, company, domain, and all of that stuff. So it can't actually put those in with all these columns and the values. So I'm assuming that's why it doesn't have that in. And then for this part where it says if enrichment fails, still log the row with tech fields empty and an error note. I don't think it did anything for that, because if I go to the enrichment one, it just says on error stop workflow. So I'm pretty sure for this one it would have to continue using error node, and then on the error it would go to Google Sheets, and then we would log the error that way. So it didn't actually do that part, because I think that was actually a pretty complex thing for the automation to do, to log the error, which I don't blame it. But overall, it's a good starting point. This feature literally just released today, so I don't expect it to be perfect. There are a few things that aren't perfect, but it's obviously a really good starting point. Like, if you have to build something and you just want like a base to work with, you could put it in here and you have like a very good starting point. So I think as time goes on, they're going to keep updating this. It's going to get better and better. So I recommend all you guys trying this out and letting me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, if you can't get this running, in the start of the video, I showed you how you can get it right now without waiting for the rollouts. Again, just inspect, go to the console, paste in the code that I'm going to put in the description, refresh the page, and then you'll have the option to use the AI prompt generator right next to where it says select first node. But anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed my video on this new n8n update. I haven't been on YouTube in a while, but it's my first video back, and I'm going to be consistent now. So subscribe, comment, let me know your guys' thoughts, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.